Ready? Play.
I want one more thing from you, Francisca. Can you look at the camera, and I want you to say, I am Francisco Jorge, and I am a friend of the show. Can you try it?
I am Francisca Jorge, and I'm a friend. Wait.
Go. It's okay.
I'm Francisca Jorge, and I'm a fan of the show.
One more time. Can you say, I'm a friend of the show?
Friend.
Like amigo.
Friend.
A friend. So, because we joke, we have players come on all the time. They have no idea, but after they've been on, we say, oh, Yelena Ostapenko is a friend of the show. She has no idea. But so if we get you to say, I am Francisca Jorge, or how you say your name, and
I am Francisca Jorge, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect. Thanks, Francisca. Just want you to do me one more thing. I want you to hold the microphone. I want you to look in the... Don't be nervous. I mean, listen, you've just beaten Yelena Ostapenko.
I'm not nervous.
No, you shouldn't be. If you can beat Ostapenko twice in one day, you can do this for sure. I want you to look at the camera and just say, hi, my name is, say your name, and then say, and I'm a friend of the show.
Friend of the show?
Yeah?
Okay. Hi, my name is Susan, and I'm a friend of the show.
Say your whole name for me. That's the only thing I want.
Sorry.
Surname too. No, you're doing great.
You're
doing
cutting,
great.
huh?
Yeah, I'll cut it up. Don't worry. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Thank you very much, Susan.
You're welcome.
Good luck for the rest of the tournament. And I will tag you on Instagram, and you can reject. I do have one more tiny thing, which is I want you to look into the camera.
Yeah.
I want you to say your name.
Yes.
And I want you to say, I am a friend of the show.
I'm a friend of the show. Okay.
Perfect, yeah.
My name is Zeynep Sönmez, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much.
If there's one match from Rafa's story where you think that was a missed opportunity, there was a big chance.
We have matches,
2
or 3 in Australian Open. No more. We lose the opportunity in Wimbledon against Djokovic in semi-final.
2018.
Then we lose the opportunity more important because that was semi-final. We lose the opportunity in Australian Open. In the Australian Open 2014, 2012 and 2017.
Yeah.
In 14 because he has an injury against Wawrinka that before he had never lose against him. Then with Djokovic and Federer, he had breakup in the 5th.
Yeah.
And 40-30 or 30-50, I don't remember well. It was a ball very close, goes up. But this is what happened. There was in Roland Garros 2009. Of course, I am sure that he won. He won this tournament when he has no problems in his knee, because at this moment he was the best. He won Australian Open, then he won the tournaments on clay, and he arrived with problems in Roland Garros. For this reason, in my opinion, he loses. But there are others time that maybe he has to lose and he won.
His game when the big occasions come up, so he has to be one of the top favorites. I truly believe we had a podcast ourselves yesterday, which I do with Patrick Kuhnen, called Mad Dog and Wingman, and we spoke about that obviously as well, the outlook. And I picked Carlos Alcaraz as the winner this year, just because he won just his first title on grass. I think he is extremely, in a way, extremely able to adapt to situations and to challenges, not just because he has the game, just because he's loving it. He loves it to challenge himself. And I think he has learned a lot of players. When you look back at the French Open semifinals against Novak, his breakdown, his physical and mental breakdown, with a lot of players, you would say well, they would struggle with that for the next weeks and months to come. I think with Alcaraz, he has learned a huge lesson from that match, and it will never happen again to him. I think it made him even stronger and a better player. And that's why I really feel like he believes he can Wimbledon, and he wants to prove to the world that that was a one-off and it's not going to happen again. And I think if you would look at it and he would be honest, maybe he would say I want to play the final against Novak and I want to prove to the people that's not going to happen again and I'm able to win this. So my pick really is Carlos Alcaraz.
I know we're coming to the end now, Michael, but I have got one more point.
Ready. Play.
Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry about the few delays, one or two technical hiccups. We are here, and hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. I'm here to talk you through both the Bublik Medvedev match, but also Rublev against Griekspoor. As you can see, Rublev has held serve. In fact, there's nothing to say in terms of both matches. We are on serve. I'm watching Medvedev right now against Bublik, which is one game all. Wonderful, Terry, that you can join me this morning, or is probably in Australia this evening. I'm going to put the Medvedev score on the screen like so. And therefore, you have both matches pretty much on the screen. Thus, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. And I see a drop shot here from Bublik. Didn't work, but it ultimately led to Medvedev winning the point. Hopefully I'm coming through loud and clear. Do let me know, Terry, all is well with you. And let me know your predictions for these two encounters. Got my coffee. Rublev, I see, has broken Griekspoor already in that encounter. So there was a significant move there, and Medvedev has held serve for 2-1 on Manolo Santana. Rublev and Griekspoor, of course, playing on the Arantxa Sanchez Arena. Return quality, Medvedev is joint top of the list along with Novak Djokovic. That might return, might surprise some people, including me. That's according to, I believe, Tennis Insights, but I could be wrong. At least that's coming up on my TV right now. Let's get some polls out there for you, and I mean polls as in voting. Medi to win. Great. I'm glad that you can hear me well, Terry. Start a poll. Am I right in thinking that the winner of Rublev will play the Rublev Griekspoor will play the winner of this one? I think so. So, do we think Medvedev and Rublev are winning? Or Medvedev and Griekspoor? Or maybe Bublik and Rublev? Or maybe Bublik and Griekspoor? Am I right with that, though? Actually, I think I could be wrong. Isn't Medvedev on a collision course with Nadal for the quarterfinal? I think so, actually. Okay, I've made the poll. And now you can get voting. Rublev, by the way, has already got a commanding 3-love lead. Over here on Manolo Santana, Medvedev leads 2-1, and it's 15 all. Good shot down the line there from Medvedev. He's in charge of this rally, but he doesn't put it away. And in the end, it's okay because Bublik errs and goes long. Medvedev could be in the semi-finals. I mean, against Nadal or Lehecka, he would be the favorite, you would imagine. Do hit the like button, by the way, please. And don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel. Let's get a nice snazzy thumbnail for this particular episode because I haven't yet created one. We have a break point, by the way, for Daniel Medvedev at 30-40. Bublik goes into the net on the first serve. So the favourites for these two encounters, Medvedev and Rublev, are in pretty good positions. A drop shot from Bublik is lovely. Deuce. And now we have a game point for Bublik. 15 minutes on the clock. Now he's got a smash and he puts it away and it's 2 games all. Decent hold, that one for Sasha. Bearing in mind, of course, he had to save a break point. That's nice. We are on a nice 8,050 subscribers. Thank you for joining us. Forehand chop return there from Bublik. Just casually staying in the rally, although I think actually he was pretty casual because Medvedev has gone long. At least that is the suggestion. This is the umpire that Medvedev called a small cat. If you remember that Australian Open semi-final. Yep, it did go long, so we're at love 15. Also, we've had a few people become members in recent days. Thank you very much for becoming a member. I'm actually going to post something in the live chat so you can also become a cool cat, just like Daniel Medvedev, and become a member and get all sorts of little bonuses, but in particular bonus footage that is exclusively available for members only. Let's put this in the live chat for you. Bublik, by the way, now has love 40 on the Medvedev serve. After a very horrible volley there from Daniil Medvedev at the net. Very horrible. Hopefully you can forgive my English. Backhand return clips the net from Bublik. That's a bit lucky. But the drop shot response from Medvedev is sweet. 15-40. Long way from getting out of trouble, but it's a nice response from Daniil, particularly given the adversity provided by that net cord. It did make things very tricky for him. And is that Bublik breaking? It is, with a forehand cross court. He's done it. Bublik has broken, saved a break point in the previous game, and now he himself is up a break. Looking pretty chilled. Wow. Next up, I think, on this court is Iga Swiatek against Beatrice Haddad-Maia. I will come to you in the chat in a second, Terry, just doing a bit of housekeeping. Okay. And we'll also have coverage of Iga against Beatrice Haddad-Maia on the channel, so make sure you join us for that. Bublik goes down the tee on the first serve, but he's actually gone long. And it's a double fault, so it's love 15. Bublik can't afford too many of those today, but then Nurkan Medvedev, probably equally known for it. Medvedev made some interesting comments recently about his serve, by the way, in terms of the fact that he feels it's been compromised in the last couple of years, which might explain why it's not as effective as it used to be. As I think Vanch, quoting him, said basically he used to be one of the best, if not the best server on tour. He's now probably not so much in that conversation. A tweener from Medvedev is responded with a sort of stop volley from Bublik at the net, and it's 15-all. What is going on in the other match? Rublev remains up a break. I will now come to the chat and say hello again to you, Terry. Sorry. Yeah, Medi, Nadal, Ruby, and Carlos's section. Yes, sorry. Wow, Medi, I'm obviously 4 minutes behind on that one. Is that the fact that he's been broken that is surprising you? Oh, the ball in the net. Yeah, the volley, you mean? Yeah. It was a pretty horrible one, wasn't it, Terry? So, by the way, I think you've put your predictions in, Terry. Medi to win. Ruby's in Carlos's section. So, are we looking at the winner of this match playing Nadal or Lehecka, and the winner of Struff and Carlos, we're playing against the winner of Rublev? So potentially Rublev Carlos is what we're thinking about. Is that right? Which for me is probably a Carlos win. Oh, what's the latest with Yannick Sinner? Because I saw that he wasn't on the ticket today in terms of people buying tickets. I saw that it wasn't possible at one point, at least, to buy a ticket for his match. So I'm going to check to see if indeed he has pulled out. It does look like it. I mean, this is a very, that's a Yannick Sinner update, but it's a cryptic and unclear one. But I'm just feeling that the wave in that picture and a few other things. Let's have a look. Sinner a bit concerned with his hip. Okay. Still awaiting confirmation regarding Yannick Sinner. Okay. Okay, maybe here's a little bit in terms of the matchup with Khachanov. Bublik, by the way, here on serve at deuce. He was in a pretty good position, so yeah, I agree, Terry. Yeah. So Carlos or Struff. Okay, hasn't officially pulled out yet. Thank you, Terry. I just saw a tweet earlier, which I'll try and bring up on the screen for you. That was basically, it looked like you couldn't buy tickets for his particular match. Maybe I didn't retweet it. I thought I retweeted it earlier. By the way, I've put a poll out on Twitter regarding Nadal and Lehecka. And that's where we're at the moment. So make of that what you will. Drop shots killing Medi. Indeed. Well, Medi's deep return position is, deep position in general on the court is sort of well known, particularly from the return, and as is Bublik's ability or keenness to do the drop shot. So we'll see if that continues, but it is something to watch out for. Medvedev here a bit closer to the baseline. Good depth on that slice. Now the drop shot doesn't work though from Bublik. I do think that if Carlos and Rafa were to meet, but of course I think that would have to be the final, then I can see quite a few drop shots killing Rafa there. Let's have a quick look at the draw, actually, and see how that is panning out. Bublik comes into the net. Oh, a lovely pass there from Medvedev, meaning he gets a break point. So here's the draw. Sinner or Khachanov will play Rude or Ogier Aliassime in the quarters. And Medvedev or Bublik will play Rafa or Lehecka. And so that's the half. So Sinner, Rude is a possible quarterfinal, as is, well, Medvedev or Bublik against Nadal or Lehecka, call that as you will. And then so Carlos is in the other half of the draw. So Carlos and Rafa can't meet until the final. Bublik comes into the net, but it's a horrible volley from Bublik, and it's back to parity, and it's 3 games all. Okay. Bublik tries to fight back, though, here. This time putting his volley lovely away. If only he could have done that with a couple of his volleys in the previous game, or at least one of them anyway. We might be in a different scenario. Let's share the Rublev score on the screen with you. He won the first set 6-2, so he is breezing through that round of 16 match at the moment. Bublik puts the return into the net, so it's 30-15 on the Medvedev serve. So the head-to-head between Sinner and Khachanov is 3-1. If Sinner is healthy, I expect him to win that. The controlled aggression over the controlled. That drop shot from Bublik did not work, so it's 40-15 Daniel Medvedev. Forehand return, another forehand from Medvedev. Backhand from Medvedev. Slice here from Bublik to the backhand of Medi. Another slice from Bubi. Oh, a lovely forehand winner down the line there from Bublik. Forehand here from Medvedev into the forehand of Bublik, and it goes into the net. So 4-3 Daniel Medvedev. Okay, so I'm going to update the score on the screen. Yes, I'm just having a quick look at this set point that was on the Griekspoor serve that gave Rublev that first set. Nick here highlighting some of the matches that are keen for him. Yeah, that's pretty much sums up my watch list as well today. Nick, I don't always agree with your choices, but that's a pretty sound list. Okay, Bublik serving at 3-4. And it's 15 all on the Bublik serve. It was love 15, but it's now back to 15 all. Medvedev sort of forehand slice there. A lovely drop shot, though, from Bublik, but it's not enough to win the point. We're very much into a strange rally here with both players in awkward court positions. And awkwardness normally is actually synonymous with both players. Bublik smiles there, and Medvedev puts it long, so it's 30-15. Over on Arantxa Sanchez Vicario Stadium, one game all between Rublev and Griekspoor. Arantxa Sanchez, it would be great to see her a bit closer to the sport. 35 minutes on the clock here. Bearing in mind she has a stadium named after her. I guess she puts in an appearance in Madrid, but I don't recall seeing her there. But somebody in the live chat can correct me on that one. One of the slices here from Bublik. Slice used to be a sort of tactic much used against Medvedev, but now it seems to be serve and volley very much in vogue. Talking of coming in for the volley, there is Bublik on the volley. Now he's got a smash, and he puts it away. 30-15 becomes 40-15. 35 minutes on the clock in the Spanish capital. A couple more votes have streamed in for Nadal Lehetska. Nick, it's good that you heard the endorsement and not probably. I actually don't think I've ever outwardly said anything, but sometimes I've looked at your watch list and I've not always agreed with every single one. But today, from 2 on the women's side and 8 on the men's, what did you go for? You went for Bublik is held, by the way. You've gone for 5 matches. They are the 5, yeah. When I look at Medvedev and Bublik against, for example, if you want to put it like this, against Griekspoor and Rublev. By the way, how many times as commentators are we doing this? You know, we're just can't remember something. You know, you could even be watching a match right in front of you and you're thinking, oh, it's Bublik against someone. 4 games all, by the way. I may well have told you, Nick, but I think, Nick, you said on a stream the other day as well that you were thinking that we'll be on the ground somewhere soon. I'm going to go to a challenger in Portugal a couple of weeks from now, a little bit less than 2 weeks from now. And so I'll be bringing you content from there. I'm also going to the Strasbourg WTA 500 just before the French Open. So 2 more tournaments on the horizon, and fingers crossed we get a tournament or 2 in the UK. You never know. You never know in tennis, especially as we're new media. Drop shot here from Bublik. From the minute it left his racket, it never looked like it was going to land, to be honest with you. Well, land in terms of the better side of the net from his perspective and the wrong side of the net from Medvedev's. But Medvedev wins that point 30 love because it goes into the net. Rublev is held for 2-1 over on Arantxa Sanchez. Oh, how did that one get over the net? Oh my goodness me! Sasha Bublik wagging the finger. Wagging the finger there, and justifiably so. I mean, I haven't watched every single second of this match, but that's the shot of the match so far for me. Even drawing an applause from Daniel Medvedev. Yeah, I guess if you want to make watch lists objective like that, you can. For me, though, I think we've got to throw in a bit of intrigue and interest. I mean, let's take Marozsan, Sabot Wild, Mira Andreeva. Players like this, I think, that probably wouldn't fall into your categories. I'm just having a look. Both players former Slam semi-finalists, Olympics or thousands. I'm thinking that those players that I just highlighted don't fall into those categories. Yeah, well, that's why I looked at the first 2, and I've got Bublik Medvedev on my screen here, which I'm sharing as well as in terms of the scoreline below. And I could get Rublev Griekspoor up as well, but I'll just share the score for you anyway. We are going to have a live watch along later on for at the well, actually, no, I know we're going to do 2 matches. I think I'm going to do Iga against Beatrice Haddad-Maia because that does fall into my watch list for today. I think Iga wins it, but listen, if we get some drama like we had in the French Open semi-final last year, like that tiebreak, that could easily have gone 3. I thought Haddad-Maia brought it that day. And Iga was the better player, but that second set could have gone either way. I don't know. I mean, they are streaky. I know what you mean, but if they were playing each other, I mean, the thing is, you never know. I mean, like Iga against Beatrice today, it could be 2-1. You're never guaranteed. In fact, you're never guaranteed with Iga because she could just wipe the floor with her opponent. So therefore, you just got to do your best. And therefore, like Sabot Wild against Alcaraz a couple of days ago, you don't know. But I think we're going to see some entertaining rallies. And a bit like today, this Bublik could throw in a stinker and Medvedev wins 7-5, 6-1. And you go, oh, well, that was a bit flat. But you just know you're going to get some entertainment. She definitely can, Nick, yeah. Yes, so I think we're going to have at least 2 streams, which reminds me I should create a thumbnail for Iga against Beatrice Haddad-Maia, because at the moment I've created the stream, but it looks rather dull in terms of how it looks. But these are the 2 matches that we're going to be covering at the very least today. Nadal against Lehecka. I think I've got a pretty nice lineup for that one with Jack, Damien, and Vanch. Damien will be the start to finish guy. Vanch, I think, will join. Jack will join if it goes beyond 11 p.m. Central European time and therefore 10 p.m. UK time, which, by the way, I think is extremely likely. I mean, we had a straight sets match last night between Sinner and Kotov, and yet the match comfortably went beyond 10 o'clock UK time. In fact, I would imagine it finished, Nick, maybe even nearly 11 o'clock UK time. I'm just trying to remember myself. Maybe even 11:30 UK time. I remember doing the late night show with Damien last night and didn't realize it was like 1:45 here. Fortunately, no work for me today. Backhand to backhand exchange right now. I should probably update the scoreboard with Medvedev leading 5-4. And Bublik goes wide there, so it's love 15. So Medvedev is technically 3 points away from winning this set. If you're watching on Twitter, by the way, give us a retweet, please, and spread the word. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, oh, hang on, swerve volley here. Oh, lovely, Bublik. Lovely, lovely, lovely. It was a pickup half volley, I think, in the end. I'll have to watch the replay to see if he connected with that before it bounced. 15 all. A divisive character, no doubt, but an entertaining, a very good interview with him a couple of days ago about how I think it was yesterday actually, about how he doesn't like playing at 11 a.m. because it means getting up at 7. So he had to do the same again today. Also talking about his coaching situation being a little different, let's say, but he's a different player. There's a slice. Oh, and he gets very lucky there with a net cord off a slice as well. It looked like a decent slice if it was going to float over. And I must say, I thought there was enough height on it to float over. But no, clipped the net and dropped dead. And therefore, it's 30-15. I think I was in the middle of saying something there. I mean, basically, Sean, yeah. I mean, he writes. I mean, not basically. Yes, he is. He writes for a number of different outlets. I think he does a lot of the sort of preview writing for matches for a couple of websites. I think even the ATP itself. Put it like this: during 7 days in Estoril, the keyboard or the voice was going non-stop, and with the exception of making fun of me as United were messing up against Chelsea, every single word was pretty much tennis related and had some journalistic value. Oh, there's an asterisk. Diane Parry. I didn't know that was on your list. Oh, that's a nice forehand little winner there from Bublik, again bringing a smile to the face. I mean, he's a great watch. I think with players like Bublik, you can say you're a fan, but go, I don't like that. Like if there's a one-off incident that you don't particularly like, as long as it's not doing permanent damage. Like I'm not sure where I stand, for example, on the grunting, mimicking the other day of Caballes Baena. But then I don't particularly like Caballes Baena responding by trying to hit serves at the guy. So, yeah. I guess that the mimicking of the grunting came first. But 2 wrongs don't make a right and all that. Anyway, 5 games all. Okay, 15 love. Oh, that backhand looked awkward from Daniil Medvedev. And it's 15 all, I believe, here at 5 all. So things pretty tight. Yeah, that's the problem with the list, Terry. Is I just think it's tennis in terms of entertainment is not quantifiable. I mean, you could get 2 Grand Slam semi-finalists, for example, that would potentially bore the hell out of me. Kevin Anderson, John Isner. That was a semi-final, wasn't it, at Wimbledon in 2018? I mean, I know both have retired now. Has Anderson retired? I think he has. But yeah, By the way, I promise that that image of the Iga Beatrice match will improve probably at the next change of ends, which could be any second because we're at 40-15. Let's, in the meantime, share the score from Griekspoor Rublev where they are on serve. But it just feels like, and I haven't seen a single ball, but it just feels like Rublev is holding more comfortably than Griekspoor. It's a lovely swing volley there from Daniel Medvedev. We'll take a quick break, and when I come back, we'll see out the rest of this set. Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks, including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material, such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon, or Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis. All things tennis, indeed, and we'll be with you with at least two more commentaries today, coming up with Iga Swiatek against Beatrice Haddad-Maia shortly after this one finishes, I believe. It's slated for 12:30 or from 12:30 local time, but of course, tennis being tennis, you just never know. It'll come up at the end of this match anyway, which, by the way, this match is going pretty long, at least in terms of the first set. Backhand slice here from Bublik. Yeah, as I say, the slice used to be a sort of thing against Medvedev, probably none more so than the first couple of sets of the US Open final in 2019. It was a tactic that Nadal deployed. But then the fashionable tactic against Medvedev kind of got overtaken with the serve volley. I think Djokovic did it to aplomb in the Paris-Bercy final of 21, I would say. Having lost to him in New York just a few weeks before in straight sets, Djokovic then won that match, I think, in 3. But really, if Djokovic sort of made us sit up and take notice, the two Alcaraz-Medvedev matches, particularly the first one in Indian Wells last year, was like, oh, this is a thing. And so the slice, and I think Medvedev's ability to deal with the slice has improved. So that combo means the serve volley thing is the thing to go to. And even somebody like Sinner, who's probably not as adept at the serve volley as someone like Novak or Carlos is, even he is deploying it. And I'm sure it's helped him turn that rivalry around where I think it's now 6-5. Oh, hello. Oh, lovely, Daniel Medvedev. I love that because I think we're all thinking he's going down the line. But in the end, very clever. I've seen Medvedev do that a few times this week where it's like, okay, he's going this direction, but actually he thinks, nah, you all think I'm going that way. I'm going the other way. 30-15 or 15-30, sorry, on the Bublik serve here. Bublik goes down the tee and it's an ace. That's a good response from Alexander Bublik. 30 all. Griekspoor has held serve, though, so 3 all in the second set over there with Rublev having won the first. And now it's 40-30, so a game point for Alexander Bublik to force the tiebreak. Down the T, forehand return. It's a bit short, and Bublik gets away with a net cord there. Oh, but that drop shot from Bublik. To be fair, Medvedev was onto it. And to be fair, Medvedev wasn't so far back on the court, but the execution was just perfect. And there was just nothing that Daniel could do. So, tie break it is. And Medvedev will serve first. Down the T. Drop shot this time for Medvedev. Now it's on the forehand of Medi, 1-love. The drop shot wasn't an outright winner, but it was enough to put himself in charge of the point. Good work, Daniil. Hi, KC. Thank you for joining us. Do please hit the like button. So 0-1, down the T, forehand return from Daniil. Good depth on that one from Daniil. Now we're into the rally. Forehand from Daniil to the back, to the forehand at each. They're each going cross court at the moment. Not taking too much chance in terms of depth, but there was a nice shot there from Daniil. That's a really good depth there from Daniil, but it's not enough to put him in charge of the point. A slice there from Bublik. The problem with Bublik's is slice. Oh, the drop shot there from Bublik just did not work at all in terms of the execution. And I would even argue it was the wrong time given Medvedev's court position. Just wrong. And it kind of looked pretty horrible because it bounced way short of the net. Drop shot errors from Bublik is 4 today. I would like to know how many drop shots he did that ended up him winning the point. I would imagine it's more than 4, to be fair. So 2-0. Medvedev. Haven't seen a drop shot yet. I haven't seen an underarm serve yet from Bubi. Oh, that's a loose forehand from Bublik. So it's now 3-0 Medvedev with the Russian to serve. Double mini break. On clay, not quite as significant as other surfaces, but still very much advantage Daniil. Goes down the T, but he goes long with that first serve. Second serve here. Backhand return from Sasha. Forehand down the line. Bublik on the run. Bublik still on the forehand. Backhand to backhand. Now a slice, though, from Bublik. The problem for Bublik is his slice, which he's using quite a bit today. It's no Dimitrov, let's say that. And it's 4-0 to Daniil Medvedev. Forehand return into the net from Bublik. And so far, this has been a pretty ugly tiebreak from Alexander Bublik, who I believe is at a career high 17 in the rankings right now. Griekspoor, Rublev stay on serve. Bublik here goes to the backhand, comes in for the serve volley, but the volley is horrible and just sums up the tiebreak thus far from Bublik. And there's really not much time left for him to save this. I mean, I actually think the serve volley actually could have, and I think most players are putting that volley away. Bublik's weapons or the tactic of slicing, of serve and volleying, and drop shotting. Bublik on the drop shot can be exquisite. The other two less so. And so his weapons against Medvedev, or the weapons need, underarm serve, but Medvedev is going to chase this down. But it's a nice tactic that on this occasion has worked well for Bublik because it put him in charge of the point because Medvedev wasn't able to put much purchase on that. And it is 6-1, or I should say, yes, 6-1 because it's over to Medi to serve with 5 set points still in his hands. Just under an hour on the clock. Medvedev to serve. Into the forehand chop return. Pretty good depth on there, but Medvedev now feels like he's in charge of this rally, but maybe not there with that low bounce. It's a lovely forehand down the line from Sasha. Let this one bounce. Yes, he does. It bounces out, so we're at 6-2. Are we watching an epic comeback in this tiebreak unfold? I think it's another point or two before we start believing, that's for sure. Set point number 3 of 6 here from Medvedev. So 2 have come and gone. This serve is going to the forehand. It's also a cultured return once again from Bublik. Bublik goes big, but I think no, it didn't go out. So it's on the forehand here, Bublik. Bublik comes into the net. And well done, Bublik. That really aggressive shot that was very, very close to the line set him up nicely for that point. 3-6. I said a point or two. Even at 4-6, I'm not sure I would be too convinced. But, well, he's given himself a fighting chance. Let's say that. 3 points in a row for Bublik. Okay, Booby, where are you going with this one? Goes into the net. You cannot afford the slightest of mistakes here. So a double fault obviously being one of those. Goes down the tee. Thought about the serve volley, and as a result, his court position was horrible. And is he going to pay the price? Daniel should have an easy smash here. Puts it away. That hesitation from Bublik cost him dearly on that point. And Daniel Medvedev takes the first set, and we will take a quick break. Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks, including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material, such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered. Whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon, or Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis. All things tennis indeed. Rublev now is held for 5-4. I'm watching Yannick Sinner warming up, really putting his hip through its paces, which to me, though, suggests that he will be playing later on today, at least anyway. Unless we get an absolute last-minute withdrawal before his match with Khachanov. Of course, all of the men's round of 16 matches are occurring today, including Rafael Nadal against Jiří Lehecka. We will have live coverage of that on the show later on today, depending on where in the world you are, later on tonight, but in a few hours anyway, or actually more than a few hours, like 9 hours from now, to be fair, at least 9 hours. But much more on the horizon is the Beatrice Haddad-Maia Iga Swiatek clash, which we'll have also on the show coming up shortly after this one. So Bublik to serve at love all, which always feels like a bit of a strange expression. Griekspoor serving to stay in the match over on Arantxa Sanchez, but he's got off to a decent start by winning the first point. I know what you mean, Terry. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know where it came from. Maybe it came from a different language. Maybe it's used differently in other languages and it's come into tennis parlance. But I use it myself. In other sports, we talk about staying fit, don't we? If I can be fit. In Spanish, you would say forma, which is both form and shape and fitness. Bublik now 15-30 on his serve. He can ill afford to lose that serve at the beginning of this set. An hour and 4 minutes on the clock, just gone 12:15 local time in Madrid. Do let me know in the live chat where in the world you're tuning in from. I can tell you that I'm in Bonn in Western Germany. Forehand down the line. Bublik comes into the net. This time he puts that volley away nicely. It's very much been chalk and cheese from Bublik at the net today, or all or nothing. And on that occasion for him, it was all. Much needed, 30 all. Good first serve there from Bublik. But Medvedev is still very much in this point. There's a slice from Sasha. Another slice becoming actually a drop shot, but that drop shot was actually just the wrong time. Medvedev was far too close to the baseline there. To be honest with you, if Medvedev was a meter or two behind the baseline, it was just, I mean, it was actually executed very, very well. But Medvedev was just far too close to it. So it was tactically the wrong decision. Not the first time in Bublik's career he's made an incorrect tactical decision. I'm sure it won't be the last. He does have a tennis brain like no other. 30-40. Coming in for the serve volley here, but actually it didn't land in. So it's going to be a second serve. And I don't think he'll be following the second serve in. Backhand return here from Daniel. Forehand, runaround forehand for Bublik. His footwork there wasn't the best. I don't really know what that shot was, Alexander. But that's decent. Now they're into the rally. Oh, Bublik nets on the forehand. And we've got an early break of serve for Daniel Medvedev. So he leads by a set and a break. Far from insurmountable, but also far from ideal for Alexander Bublik. Oh, and Rublev, by the way. Oh, there's been a racket smash. I didn't see that. So we had two things happen at the same time. I mentioned Andrei Rublev. He's won his match, so I'm sure he's not smashing a racket. But there is a racket smash from Alexander Bublik. And so there we go. Rublev is through. He will play the winner of Carlos Alcaraz against Jan-Lennard Struff, which is later on today. Very much on our watch lists, ours being Nick and mine. Ooh, has Medvedev erred there? With what was a very easy forehand put away, but he puts it wide, just wide, but wide all the same, and it's love 15. So, yes, Rublev has sealed the deal over on Arantxa Sanchez Stadium. Pretty swiftly, just over an hour, I think, that match. The forehand there from Medvedev is not good enough to win the point. Oh, but it is now because Bublik dumps his backhand into the net. He was on the run there, Bublik, and it was pretty tricky to sort of contort the body for that one. And as a result, he puts it into the net, 15 all. You'd still expect Rublev to make that, though. Yeah, so Rublev has won over there on Arantxa Sanchez in straight sets. 8 aces off the racket of Rublev today, to the expense of just 1 double fault. And Bublik goes long on the forehand. So it's 30-15. How you doing, Casey? Long time, long time. For those of you just tuning in, please do hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. $30 on the Medvedev serve. And now we have a break point for Alexander Bublik. So, just a couple of minutes after a racket smash from the Kazakh, we now have a break point to get it back on serve. And he's going to have a second serve to deal with as well. Backhand return, decent serve into the body, drop shot from Medvedev. But what's going on here? This is going to be an interesting point. Oh, the volley from Bublik goes long. A drop shot from Medvedev was chased down by Bublik. Got there in good enough time, get a decent enough racket on it. But the next ball that came Bublik's way, it was manageable, I think, at least at my first take. It was manageable. But Bublik put it long, the volley from on top of the net. Chopped return from, he's loving these forehand slices, is Bublik. Good depth on the backhand there. And he can't get much purchase or enough purchase to get it over the net on that forehand. And therefore, it is now game point for a 2-love lead for Daniel Medvedev. Was in a spot of bother a couple of points ago, facing a break point. Next up on Arantxa Sanchez is her catch against Taylor Fritz. And Daniel Medvedev has indeed held for 2-love, saving a break point en route. Okay, a little bit of housekeeping there. $15 here on the Bublik serve. 30-15 now to Alexander Bublik. Backhand from him goes pretty deep. Backhand slice now. Medvedev on the forehand. That slice was just set up too nicely for Medvedev to get that nice swingy forehand cross court. 30 all. Now a volley at the net. That's lovely, Bublik. I didn't even know, not even quite sure how you did that. 40-30 game point now for Alexander Bublik. Backhand return, forehand, backhand slice here. Game point here for Alexander Bublik to get on the board in this second set. Forehand slice down the line. Just slicing and dicing, but eventually the slice goes wide. As I say, for Bublik, he's no Dimitrov on the slice. So we're at deuce. Coming up later today, 2 more watch-alongs for you. With Iga Swiatek against Beatrice Haddad-Maia coming up for you shortly. It's a double fault from Alexander Bublik, and we have another break point here for Daniel Medvedev. So yeah, Swiatek Haddad-Maia will follow this particular clash. Forehand from Medvedev to the forehand of Bublik. Backhand drop shot from Medvedev. And it's really effective, and it's 3-love. That was an excellent drop shot from Daniil. Bublik got his racket on it, but he was in too much of a compromised position to win the point. And now Daniil Medvedev, it feels like he has 1 foot in the quarterfinals, where he will face the winner of Lehecka and Rafa Nadal. Of course, playing at 2 very different times of the day, with one playing at the beginning and one playing at the end. I therefore would guess that are all the men's quarterfinals on Thursday? I'm guessing they are. Oh, yeah. It's a lovely volley I'm just seeing there from Bublik. I still don't quite know how he did it, even watching the replay. But anyway, I'm saying that, and the guy is a double breakdown. I apologize for momentarily leaving your screens, but I'm back now. Maybe you prefer me leaving your screens. The winner of Hurkacz Fritz, by the way, will play the winner of Cerundolo against Zverev. Just bringing up the draw there and seeing a fist pump from Rublev as he seals the deal against Griekspoor, 6-2, 6-4. That match has concluded, and up next will be Taylor Fritz. Against Hubi Hurkacz. Who knows how that one's going to pan out. But over here on Manolo Santana, a commanding lead for Daniel Medvedev. 3-love, he now leads over Bublik with a double break. Just have a quick look at the poll latest in terms of that on Twitter. Do give us a follow on Twitter, actually, at Talking Tennis TT. You can also follow us at the same line on Facebook and on Instagram. 54.4% are going for Nadal, with 45.6% for Jiří Lehecka in that poll. Medvedev here, 40-15, 2 game points. And he's held serve for 4-love. Pretty nondescript hold of serve, that one, to 15. For those of you watching on YouTube, please hit the like button and also hit subscribe if you are new. Forehand return to the forehand of Bublik into the net. And we are now, for the first time, into bagel discussion territory. Love 15 here on the Bublik serve. Second serve here for Medvedev to look at. Backhand from Medvedev into the backhand of just exchanging backhands down the center of the court. I just wonder where the belief is at right now for Bublik as he dumps a backhand into the net and love 30. But we are at 15-30 now after an unreturnable serve. Medvedev serving here, goes to the backhand, comes for a serve and volley, puts the volley away nicely on the stretch, 30 all. So if there were any doubts in terms of the belief, that will have helped. Comes in again. He's going to get a smash. Not an easy smash on the bounce. Good defense there from Medvedev. Drop shot from Bublik, and it eventually sets himself up for the point, and he's laughing. He's enjoying that, at least. 40-30. Not drawn a smile from Medvedev. Underarm serve from Bublik. And that is how you deal with an underarm serve, says Daniel Medvedev. And it gets to deuce. Hanlon here extolling the virtues of the quarterfinal lineup on the WTA side. But Bublik gets on the board, 1-4. He's still, of course, a double break down. We'll take a quick break. Have on chauffeur. I don't know, shisha. That was the Talking Tennis experience in Monastir. Hopefully we'll be there again later on this year, come October. We'll see. Where we will be is in Strasbourg in a couple of weeks for the WTA 500 on the eve of the French Open. But coming back to the present, 4-1 here, Medvedev leads with a double break, so he is serving at 4-1 as they enter the rally here. Forehand from Bublik, pass. So the wavering confidence that I suggested may have been occurring at love 30 in the previous game, and a bagel becomes a topic. We're now in a very different situation. 4-1, love 15. It's got 2 breaks, of course, to reclaim here, though. Forehand exchange right now. Backhand from Daniil Medvedev. Backhand slice from Bublik. Ooh, a winner there from Alexander Bublik, and it's a lovely forehand winner. Looking a little tentative in terms of his movement after that one, but that's nice. Forehand winner here, and it's love 30. Forehand return. It's a bit short, that one. And is that a winner for Medvedev? I think it is. Must have just clipped the line. 15-30. Not much Bublik could have done about that, other than the fact his return was a bit short. Drop shot here from Medvedev is not going to be good enough because Bublik is easily going to get his racket on that, but he goes for the redrop. Wasn't the worst of ideas, but the execution wasn't there, so it's 30 all. Just going to put my phone on charge. 40-30 here, Medvedev. Forehand return is long from Bublik, and it is 5-1 now. Felt like there was a chink of light there at love 30, but Medvedev snuffed out the threat and is now one game away from a quarterfinal against either Lehetska or someone. Lehetska or someone being Rafa Nadal. Oh, it's a horrible smash from Bublik. 15-30, and now Medvedev is 2 points away. That's a horrible smash. Just completely mistimed it. I'm not even sure which part of the racket that came off. Having said that, he does squint and look up at the sun, so I'm wondering if that contributed to that particular error. 15-30. Backhand return from Medi. Backhand drop shot from Bublik. Medvedev gets there. Now we've got the lob. Medvedev on the run. Tweener didn't work. 30 all. Stay of execution, perhaps, for Alexander Bublik. At least he's smiling. 30 all. Serve volley. Yes, 40-30. Game point, Alexander Bublik. Backhand return. I think he thought about the serve volley again, and maybe that hesitancy was punished there for Medvedev. It's an excellent return, and we're at deuce. Medvedev 2 points away from winning this. But now we have advantage Bublik. Second serve. Game point for Alexander. Goes down the tee, forehand return. Drop shot here from Bublik. Medvedev gets his racket on it, but not enough purchase on the ball to get over the net. And therefore it is 5-2. And we will take a quick break before the conclusion, potentially, of this match. 5-2. Medvedev will serve for the match. 5-2 he leads. And it's 15 all. Bublik got the first point, but Medvedev has responded, so it's 15 all. Forehand return here into the backhand of Medvedev. Backhand slice now is pretty deep from Bublik. Of course, if you can get one break back, maybe a bit of doubt comes into Daniel's mind. Backhand cross court slice. That's a lovely slice there from Bublik, and it forces the error from Daniel Medvedev. Now, that's the kind of slice. That's a Dimitrov-esque slice. 15-30 on the Medvedev serve. Please do hit the subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. It's a lovely first serve, is it? No, didn't land in. So it's going to be a second serve. Yeah, please hit subscribe on YouTube. He is challenging it. I thought it had landed in, but just out. Just a reminder, that's the umpire that Daniel Medvedev once described as a small cat. I'm not sure how good cats are at tennis, but that forehand was ugly, 15-40. And Bublik breaks, 5-3. So, a little bit of interest here. Goes down the T, Bublik, but it goes wide. So Bublik serving. I'll correct the scoreboard for us now. But it is love 15 after what I believe was a double fault there from Alexander Bublik. 1 hour, 36 minutes on the clock. He was down a double break in this set. He's got one of those breaks back. Oh, he's lucky there on the second serve. I think that was clipping the net and landing on the right side from his perspective. Backhand return from Daniil. Backhand down the line from Sasha. Drop shot from Sasha's not going to be good enough. But he's still very much in the rally. He gets that lob in. Medvedev on the turn. That's a good shot from Daniil. Then there's a redrop there from another. Oh, that's a lovely redrop from Daniil Medvedev from a second kind of drop shot from Bublik. And it's love 30. And once again, Daniil Medvedev is 2 points away from winning the match. He's yet to have a match point. He was serving for the match. Anyway, 30 all. Her catch Fritz underway. 1-2. Jose Morgado on his phone in the background. Backhand return. Backhand drop shot from Bublik is lovely, but Medvedev chases it down. Now we've got a lob, and it lands in. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Medvedev didn't even chase that one. Her catch Fritz. 3 tie breaks. Goes down the T there, but goes long. Hi, Jake. 30 all. So Medvedev still 2 points away from winning this match. Goes long there, does Bublik. Second serve. Backhand return is long, so it's 40-30, and we have a game point. And the belief at 4-love for Bublik felt like it had gone. 4-love, love 30, I believe, as well. But now, 5-3, 40-30, or 3-5, 40-30. Goes long on that first serve. Forehand return is deep, but we're into the rally. Slice drop shot there from Bublik is good. Should be enough to win the point. It sets up an easy forehand winner with an open court, and it is indeed 5-4. Remember, it was 4-love Daniel Medvedev, and on the Bublik serve, love 30, and Bublik was looking at a potential bagel. Now, he's certainly keeping his opponent honest, but Medvedev will serve for the match for a second time. He has been 2 points away from victory, but he's yet to garner a match point. I think overall, despite there being a few errors on the drop shots, I think overall it has been a fairly successful tactic for Bublik today. As I said, the weapons that can harm Daniel Medvedev, threefold. Really good effective slice, but that is not something Bublik is amazing at. Serve and volley, again, that's probably the number one tactic, but it's something that Bublik cannot pull off to the same level of success of a Djokovic, an Alcaraz, or even perhaps a Jannik Sinner. The third tactic, though, is the drop shot. And that is something that Bublik on his day can excel at. Hurkacz Fritz are at 2-all and on serve. Medvedev here is going to try and serve out this match for a second time. Jake going back to work tonight. Medvedev 7 for the match again. Goes down the tee, but goes wide. Forehand return into the forehand of Daniel Medvedev. Backhand Daniel Medvedev into the slice of... Ooh, this is an unusual point, but we've seen a few of those today. Oh, and Bublik puts the backhand volley away. Love 15. Interesting, interesting. Backhand slice here is too long, 15-all. And it's now 30-15. Bublik there showing a bit of frustration. Feels as though he could have and should have done better on that previous point. Goes down the tee here. He's in trouble here, Bublik. Drop shot is perfect from Medvedev, and it's 2 match points. 2 match points. For Daniel Medvedev. Goes down the tee, backhand return. Backhand from Medvedev looks good, and it's forced the error from Bublik. Bublik may have felt like maybe it was an unforced error. It was one of those 50-50s. Bublik smiles, puts his arm around the shoulder of Daniel Medvedev. I don't know what I mean, even if I had the volume up, I'm not sure what they're saying, but there's plenty of laughs and the giggles between the two. These are two of the biggest characters on tour. Medvedev claps and waves to the crowd. He awaits the winner of Jiří Lehecka and Rafa Nadal later on this evening. Daniel Medvedev wins in straight sets. But was an entertaining affair. He wins 7-6, 6-4. And he is through, where he awaits the winner of Jiří Lehecka and Rafa Nadal, which is the last match on this evening on Manuel Santana. Earlier today, Andrei Rublev beat Talon Griekspoor in straight sets. So he will play the winner of Jan-Lennard Struff and Carlos Alcaraz, which will be coming up in a few hours on Manuel Santana. Thank you for joining for this watch along. I'm going to take a quick break now because coming up shortly, we're also going to have Iga Swiatek against Beatriz Haddad-Maia. So make sure you join us for that. I can post the link in the live stream for you here. So please join us for that. I think it'll be me and Gokalp on the commentary for that one. And yeah, speak to you all very, very soon. And if you haven't done these things, 3 things, please do so now. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.